Hi, I'm Linda Wiest. I'd like to introduce you today to a special guest, Richard Roper, who is the Master Instructor of SOOL 1. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Let's start, Richard, with a definition of SOOL 1.
Well, SOOL 1 is a standalone martial art name. It represents a traditional martial art from Korea. Unlike many martial arts from the Japanese part of the world, the karate styles is a softer movement, more flowing, more distinctive with the Korean culture. So SOOL 1 is named for the traditional Korean martial art. So, SOOL 1. Kuk is Korea, Sool is martial art, and Won is really means the circle or association. So in a sense, it's named for the martial art of Korea.
Now, that's also the name of your business here in the area.
Yes, well, we're called SOOL 1 of Kingwood, as the words SOOL 1 are a registered trademark now. We use it as a non-generic term. So yes, we are the SOOL 1 school of Kingwood, and we're over here on Highway 59 right by Luby's.
Let's talk a little bit about your history. Let's go back to where you're from and how you began your career in martial arts.
Well, as you can tell, this is not a Texas accent. So actually, I'm originally from England, a small city on the east side called Norwich. I don't know if many people from this part of the world would be familiar with that area, but certainly during World War II, there was quite a lot of activity as far as the Air Force and American Air Force were based in that region, and down in Ipswich, so people may know that area. But yes, I'm originally from there, and that's where I started martial arts. There was a large Korean community where I came from, and that's how I became involved in SOOL 1.
Did you did you think that someday you would have this as a profession? Is that what you intended from the beginning?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I just really, I was introduced to martial arts by a friend of mine who was actually taking a different style of martial art, and I wanted to do something different, and I actually just walked along the street one day and I saw this unusual name, and I looked in, and the place was absolutely crowded with people, and I think the highest ranked person in there was a blue belt. And if you know anything about martial arts, you know there's a color belt system, and really a blue belt is not that far up the pecking order, but he was the most fantastic guy I'd ever seen. I'd never seen anybody do these things, kicks and throws and so on and so on, and I was taken with it. And so I decided that this was what I wanted to do, and yes, I wasn't looking for a profession at that time, but after 30 years, here I am. Let's
talk about the value in practicing martial arts.
Well, for me, the value has been it's given me direction in life, and it's obviously a lifestyle activity. But for the people who come to martial arts, everybody has their own reasons, and I'm sure most of them are fitness and self-defense and so on and so forth. But I like to think of martial arts, like I said, as a lifestyle activity, and I think it's beneficial in all sorts of ways, not only from the physical sense, but also from the physiological and psychological well-being for people. It gives them confidence, it gives them self-esteem, and it gives a lot of people a feeling of self-worth and value. And so there's more to martial arts than just self-defense, I think.
What about if a parent walked in with a child and was looking for something to work with them with a discipline problem? How would you help with that?
Well, I believe martial arts is a great help for children, although in this school we don't take any children under 6 years old. The reason is that I like the children here to be already familiar with the social order, like they're already at school and they're dealing with other children, and also that they are learning to deal with adults in authority. That gives me the opportunity to reinforce those values and for me to teach them a martial art. I don't consider martial arts of great value to children under 6, especially down towards the 3.5, 4-year-olds for this kind of martial art, because it's a very exacting style of martial art. There's a great deal of learning to take place. So really, children do benefit from martial arts, and certainly this is a disciplined activity. I'm well known for my my style of teaching and no-nonsense approach. So yes, I think it is good for children. As long as we're reinforcing what the parent themselves really wants, then martial arts is a good activity for any child.
Speaking of having children in classes, do you also have adults and children attending the same classes?
No, children and adults attend different classes and at different times. Again, I think that Often parents will come with their children, maybe a father will come with his son, and he will feel that he wants to participate in an activity with his son. And of course that's a very valuable thing for parents to do. However, for an adult to participate in a children's class, the level of physical activity that we would require would probably not be conducive with what he would want. And for a child to participate in an adult environment where the adults look for a completely different result from their martial art training and practice would also not be a benefit. But the main thing is that if both members of the same family are in this school, that they can, in their own time, you know, work on what they're doing, the routines, the techniques, and so on. So they can still share in the experience, but not actually participate in the same classes. And I think that is the best situation for everybody.
You mentioned something earlier about weapons. Are they used in every class, and are children allowed to use them as well?
Well, the weapons that we teach here are traditional. The staff and sword are the main ones, although there are others, and we do introduce the weapons practice in the traditional way towards black belt level around the brown belt, which is after about 2.5, over 2.5 years of practice. We teach in the traditional way, which is a respect for the weapon, a correct weapon use, correct weapon handling. We don't consider the weapon to be a toy or a prop, much like you see in the movies. It's a very exacting practice. It's repetitious, and it needs a lot of mental concentration to develop correct weapons technique. So we wait a while until the student is well practiced in the empty hand and is, let's say, the disciplines involved in using weaponry, and then we allow them to start doing it. And so we start with the basic training, and then we move up.
And I understand there's something very special about those weapons that you have.
Oh, these ones in particular, yes. Well, those are made by me. I was encouraged a long while ago by a very senior instructor in Cook SOOL 1 to make my own weapons, which some masters have done in the past and very few do today. But as I had an engineering background,